My name is Nick Pickles. I lead policy for Tools for Humanity. So I think the starting point for our company is reflecting on how the internet's evolved. And when many of us started using the internet, our default mindset was that we trusted who we saw. We trusted that we were interacting with people. We, by and large, trusted that those people had good intentions, whether it was on a message board, early social networks. You trusted that the music you were listening to was made by a human artist, and you trusted that, in some cases, advertisers trusted that humans were seeing their ads. Those days are over. At the end of last year, Adam Mosseri, the CEO of Instagram, posted a series of reflections, and one of these reflections was this quote that authenticity is now infinitely reproducible. And I think more importantly than that, the cost of authenticity is rapidly approaching zero. The transformation we are seeing right now on the internet is that it's far easier to create accounts that are not operated by humans at scale for free. Now, this isn't a new problem. I spent 10 years working at the company formerly known as Twitter. Bots were around in 2014 when I joined. They would spread propaganda. They would spread malicious content. They would give influencers an elevated follower account so they could email us asking for verification, saying, haven't you seen I have 2 million followers? I must be eligible for the famous blue check mark. And you would realize that 1.99 million of those fake followers had shown up last Tuesday and had been bought in bulk. The difference is now that these bots are able to be connected to consumer available products that then give the bots real ability to engage in an authentic, personal manner in a way that will deceive most people into thinking they are talking to a human. I was going to try and make it through this presentation without talking about CloudBot. Figured that wasn't going to work. I think one of the big debates is CloudBot is not AGI, but it's moot, because what we already know is that even without AGI, bots equipped with today's AI technology can already wreak havoc on the internet. I did not know until I started this job, there is a secondary market for DMV appointments in most major American cities. New York had to criminalize the reselling of restaurant reservations because one entrepreneurial student realized with some simple bots he could scrape reservations at New York's top restaurants and then resell them. I didn't know this was a way to pay for college. Wish I did do. I use this example because I'm an Oasis fan and I didn't get tickets as the UK shows. But even today, the services we all use are being disrupted. So many of you will have seen the reports of consumer websites, tickets, government services being defrauded at scale by people using AI-generated accounts to pass KYC processes. And this, a project that was shut down because it was operating without ethical or legal approval. But even in the short period it was running, using off-the-shelf technology, was able to demonstrate that a bot could persuade a human to change their mind 3 times more effectively than a human. And again, this wasn't billion-dollar technology being used by a government or a military. This was some researchers in a university with consumer technology. So today's efforts, how do we defeat this problem that we have bots on the internet degrading our services? We have this. It's been around a while. You're all very familiar with it. Shockingly, AI has managed to overcome the challenge of identifying a traffic light in a picture. As Andrew was saying, has it 120 zexabit, a billion terabits of data, we can identify a fire hydrant or a bicycle now. Not hot dog. Great. The latest one, and I say latest, those of you watching the Super Bowl yesterday may have seen AI.com's halftime advert. If you chose to go to AI.com to get the early registration on your handle, you were greeted with this message. Please add a credit card to verify you're human. As if credit cards are somehow now only available to humans. You'll see the headline above was from the Wall Street Journal. This experiment that X launched a few years ago, I think we can say probably charging $1 doesn't stop the bots. So how do we stop them? We think you need something that is a cryptographically trusted, with a solid root of trust, that proves you are a human. But the key thing being, it should prove you are human, not prove who you are. So we have totally conceptually separated the idea of having a digital ID that proves you're a human without conveying any personal data to the relying party. Challenge of doing this is that you need custom hardware. There's no consumer tech available. If you look at the human biometrics that are available to distinguish us from AI, well, our voice and our face could now be deepfaked to more than good enough accuracy to fool computer systems. Fingerprints don't work to population global scale. Our DNA would work, but it's incredibly difficult to work with. So the only technology, the only biometric that is both AI-proof and scales to all of humanity is our iris. And there's enough entropy in the human iris to distinguish everyone uniquely. It's the only biometric that can do that. Challenge is you have to build hardware to actually enable you to use a human iris. And so this is the Orb. It's a state-of-the-art camera, actually several cameras, with an NVIDIA Jensen module running inside it, running a series of models to answer the question, are you a human? Have I seen you before? And making sure that you're not trying to deceive the technology using an iPad with a photograph of somebody else, or even wearing a mask. This is so sensitive, it will reject you if you're wearing blue light contact lenses, because it's looking for anything that may manipulate the image. Once verified, we give you World ID. Your World ID lives on your device. All of the personal data on it through our system is stored on your device. It's a decentralized project. It's also open source, or this code, if you want to build one, the Orb is available on GitHub. And then using zero-knowledge proof technology, you can then use your World ID online without transmitting personal data or allowing your activity to be tracked across the internet. One example where this is live right now, Tinder in Japan. Online dating, as you can appreciate, is an issue, an area where knowing someone is human is very important. And this is live right now in Japan, where you can actually have a verified human badge on your dating profile, so that people know they're engaging with a real human, which is our mission. Thank you very much for the time. That's my email address.